Renewed Morphix, ultimate quality.
Done, which the same cartel in our country is taking arms there to ensure that they also cause instability in that place.
We are tired about the perennial lying, the perennial constitution, lack of honoring the constitution, and we are tired of how the corruption is continually increasing in the country.
When we go to the streets, we don't go with weapons. We go with the placards, flags, and water. Why shoot someone? Why kill someone? We call for justice. We demand for protection, not oppression from police officers. Let your uniform stand for peace, not pain in this country.
We have parents who pray for us. So we don't fear, as you say, you are praying for the nation. Our parents pray for us. So we thank everyone who is praying for us and who has stood for us. And the journey has not yet stopped. We are totally courage today and fully for another war.
Kama kawaida, form ni kuongea, ikutoke. Very nice.
Kwa macho ya homeless man, sisi ni wahuni. In darkness I'm experience our dark moments. Brothers wakitana against brothers, sisters wakishare shameful moments with fathers. Nation inahitaji change, and that's our insight. Insight, sisi wote tuko na driving license na tunatumia our skills to drive this nation to poverty. Na reality is that we don't want to face the reality. Truth be told and shall set us free. Freedom ndo tunataka, na ndo ipatikane lazima tuache kuwa mastermind wa corruption, mastermind wa abduction, mastermind wa bad demonstration. Yani mna haya goons wa kila own people. Damu imemwagika na ardhi ni chafu. So kesho lazima tutaandamana. Lazima tutaandamana kwa amani. Kwa street tutapiga kelele rais zetu tukifaidia juu tumechoka ku address the elephant in the room, and above all hizi swara zote ni yeye ametuletea. So polisi msichoke jumande tumande lazima katanuka. Msichoke kukokia ganju kabla jogoa wiki tutakuwa mjini. Msichoke kurusha tear gas cause we can't tutavumilia. We can't tutapiga kelele. We can't tutaandamana. We cannot give up until kijiko ndio hawa huni waacha kukula mali ya umma. So justice must be served and not reserved for the crooks and lawbreakers. Kish the doctor.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. Good evening and welcome to the Z Manifesto Show Special Edition. Thank you for joining us as we commemorate the eve of June 25th here on K24 and Commemorating TV. This evening, we remember the series of days when a bold generation refused to remain silent when the oppressor pushed too much, too hard. The series of days whose peak, the June 25th, was marked with echoes of war, terror, and blood. What was meant to be a peaceful protest quickly turned to a dangerous dance between death and revolution. We remember the fallen heroes, those whose lives were snatched away without the courtesy of a trial if they were truly on the wrong. Victims of adrenaline-drunk police officers. Today, we remember their names, their families, their dreams. And as the young people plan to take it back to the street tomorrow, Wednesday, June 25th, tonight we ask, ni nini inakupeleka street this time round? Ni finance bill, bad governance, police brutality, unemployment, nini hiyo inakupeleka street round hii? Ama kama utokei this time, kwa nini? What is your reason? Please feel free to engage us on our WhatsApp number and we'll be sure to read your feedback as the show goes on. Leo tuko na nyinyi hapa. Tumekuwa hapa from 6. Now we're going till 9 p.m. Meanwhile, niko studio with my co-host Linda and Kagina. Linda.
A good evening to you once again, Miss K. And you know, we are lucky enough that this particular show really writes the Z Manifesto. We are here to take stock of what has really happened since June 25th last year to this particular date, and just to look at if the concerns that were raised by the Gen Z have actually been factored in. Have they been looked into by the government? Are there changes in the education sector? Are there changes in the health sector? And how about the freedom of speech? So we have a whole lot of panelists right here who are going to just give us their views on what they feel the government is doing wrong or right. We are here to take stock.
Yes, Linda, and the guests here wako na regalia fulani. Watatuambia kama hiyo ndio uniform ya kesho Kagina.
Wamedress up.
Wamedress up,
Wametana
dress up.
Well, indeed, kuna namba ya fichua kwa DCI should be on your speed dial, vile 999 and 911 in case you spot suspicious activities during tomorrow's protest uweze kureport one time. And now, there is a narration out there that the demonstration probably were only spread in Nairobi or happened in Nairobi. So allow me to jog your memory on this segment of data here on Gen Z Manifesto. So there are a number of counties where these demonstrations happened, and these go beyond Nairobi County. We have a number of counties. So we have Nairobi County, of course, where majority of it was happening, where people breached parliament, and some were injured, some lost their lives during the protest. But the protest also happened to have gone on in Kisumu, not just in Kisumu, in Nakuru as well, where we had a number of protesters attempting to occupy the state lodge in Nakuru, and they got shot at. We also have some traces of demonstrations that were witnessed in Eldoret, but above everything else, we also had it in Mombasa. These are at least all the except for we have almost all the cities in this country on the list of where the demonstrations happened, and these were the results of the demonstrations. We had at least 61 deaths. This is according to the human rights organizations. However, the deputy president was unmoved, stating that the number was 42. For the injuries, we had 361 people who were injured in the process. We also had the government documenting the number of police officers who were injured in the process, documenting them at 495. This includes the officer who happened to injure his own hands when handling the grenade. And we also had arbitrary arrests standing at 1,376. This does not include the 132 cases of enforced disappearances, 74 cases which were solved to completion, 26 which are remaining unsolved, with families yet to meet their kin. So that is just the numbers of what happened last year. That is what many are commemorating tomorrow. But kwa sasa niruhusu tungane na Majibu kwa ground. We had him earlier, akapata kusikia sauti ya some of the people. Majibu, you're not just in the ground, naona uko kwa bush, kunaendaje?
niko mitini kidogo, mkiwa studio niliingia mitini kidogo, nilikuwa nabonga na majenzi bado wako area. Acha nitoke mitini niongee na wao kidogo bana. Nisikie wanasemaje. Wamesema kesho hawaingii mitini, watajitokeza ground. Acha nianze hapa. Last year over 60 youths wali dead bana time ya demos. Wale wenye walikuwa hiyo time ndio wenye wako mpaka sasa hivi, na kesho watakuwa. Hamuogopi?
Number one, one of the thing inaweza nikasema ni kwamba the fear is gone. Now it's the time for men to stand for themselves. The reason why I'm telling you this ni kwamba the government that we are having, it is full of ignorant leaders. The leaders who are only thinking about themselves. For example, the president that we are having ni William anadvise Ruto anasikiza Kipchirchir. Na Kipchirchir anaweza akaambia Ruto. So it's like no one can advise them, no one can hear anything that you are telling them. That's why tunasema hata sisi majenzi the requirements that tuliwapatia kwamba tunataka zifanyike even since the finance bill 2024. Hakuna kitu imebadilika. Ni kwa nini? They cannot hear us and they don't want to hear us. And even let me just try to refer to what the MP MP William amekuwa Kapkatel, usijui uko wapi huko bana. This person cannot come and tell us that he will be funding 200 bandits to come and fight Gen Zs in Nairobi, and the government have been spending millions of money to make sure that they eradicate bandits in Bonde la Ufa. So it's like they know exactly what is happening, and it's like these bandits, there's some certain group of people that are there who are benefiting from the same, and that's why we are saying kesho atuogopi. The fear is gone and we are ready. if we kill the elephant, the poverty ends. And if the elephant kills us, still the poverty ends, because we will be resting in heaven. We're going to see those people that died even before us, and we'll see to try to ask them questions. Why did they give us this kind of government?
Haya, majibu anauliza swali kisawa na mark exam. Acha niulize swali pia kwako. Amesema the fear is gone. Kwako pia bado ni the same issue, na pia mtemploy tactic gani kesho to ensure that hakuna mse anakuwa injured, ama mnaamini gava kwamba wata ensure that police wana protect?
Asante sana. Kwa majina ni Roselyn Alionya, senior Gen Z. Tactic moja tuko nayo ni tumeshaambiwa that Sakaja amepanga goons wake, na tumepanga kudeal na hao goons. Hatutawapiga, tunaenda kwa transforms. And we are calling on all goons wenye wamekuwa hired. Usikata hiyo 2K, chukua. Kesho kuja maandamano, we will baptize you and transform you to a patriotic Kenyan. And to the police unit, kesho is your last day to prove your loyalty to Kenyans. Any blood that will be shed tomorrow will be a disloyalty to the patriotic Kenyan out there. So police wako na last chance ya kureform, kutusindikiza sisi tuandamane. And by the way, hata the plan wasn't to go to State House. Mtu kama mimi, I was to wake up in the morning, go to the streets, mourn Rex Masai, mourn other, even the akina Billy Mwangi wenye walikuwa abducted wakakuwa maimed, even akina Maverick Aoko wenye walikuwa abducted wakakuwa tortured. Like, I just want to cry out. I want to go there to cry out about employment. But sasa nikifika kwa streets na ni realize machozi yangu ni kama haitoki vizuri, nataka itokeleze kwa State House mali president ako, then so be it.
Wewe wamesema the fear is gone. Wacha nipate kauli ya Bazuu pia hapa hivi. Watu wanasema the fear is gone. Pia unaamini gava that kwanza amesema governor Sakaja ametuma goons. Hatuja confirm ni yeye amewatuma, but kama umepatiwa pesa pia wewe kula hiyo dona huo. Nikuje kwako. Do you believe that gava vile imesema ita protect protesters waandamane peacefully, ama pia mnaemploy tactic gani?
We are not living in a vacuum. They have done this for a very long time. Na hakuna mali gava ime protect wananchi. That is what they're just saying for the sake of it. I heard the president say categorically that they will protect the police. I repeat, who are they going to protect the police against? Someone who is not even trained to man or arm the streets. What are you going to protect the police from? We are asking them that if they believe in constitutionalism, if they believe in the democracy that our forefathers fought for, so that we can have a free Africa and a free country, the best thing they can do is to warn the police and tell them, because we are coming peacefully. There's nothing we have that can match the might of a gun. We are coming with handkerchiefs. We are coming with water. We are coming with the flag. So the only thing we are asking them is to come and protect us from the goons or people who want to steal from us. Because I'm told also some people have been employed to come and take our phones.
Briefly before nivukiwa side nyingine, wakili uniambie, tunapia waambie wase wanapanga kuenda kuprotest kesho kwa hizo demos, labda briefly tu rights za protesters ni gani, na pia wanafaa kufanya nini kesho, na pia polisi waelimishe briefly before nivukiwa side nyingine.
Okay. Article 37 provides for the span of demonstration. You have the right to assemble, and then you have the right to picket, right to petition. You petition for your rights, and then this again is now right to demonstrate as well. This is protected under Public Order Act 56, which they say that when you want to, you're planning any demos, you notify the police, which was done. The entire Saturday, that's what we were doing, giving them written documentations on reasons why we need to demonstrate and why we should be demonstrating and where we will be demonstrating. So they are aware as of now, and we have also accomplished our constitutional mandate on what is required from us. So what is now next that is devised is we will show up peacefully to ask them fundamental questions as we commemorate. And most importantly, we lost 69 victims to protest last year. Their blood is still wet, and we have to go and fought for. Chungwa say that later on in December they went and passed the bill, the Finance Bill 2024, peaceably without the public knowing. we never forget. That is just an abuse to us. That is whatever they are doing is inatuonesha madharau sisi kama wananchi, and we never take it lightly. So we are asking everyone, be it Gen Z, be it a millennial, be it Gen Alpha, we are asking everyone to come out tomorrow to show up to the streets of Nairobi, streets of Kisumu, because that is the language this government listens to.
Wamesema hiyo pekee ndio gavana inaweza sikiza. Tutacheki kesho ama after kesho tuone itakuwa kwaje. Wacha nivuke side nyingine pia, wacha nianze na wewe. Yes, mnatokea streets kuandamana, but wengine wamesema ni must go, kesho ni kufinish kumalo, ni sawa. After kufinish kumalo, what next?
Kwanza wacha nishukuru sana the young people. Manake, as my colleague has said, the only language that this government understands, it is the language of the streets. Na tusipoenda kwa street kujiongelelea, basi hakuna mtu atasikia kilio ambacho tuko nacho. So as the Gen Z, we are saying and we are calling out on the government. Na hizi story tunasikia sijui huyu ametuma goons hapa na pale. Kazi ya serikali na polisi ni moja, kuprotect the citizens and their property. So kama kuna any leader ambaye anatuma goons waende kuiba ama kuharibu property za watu, that's the responsibility of the police, not of the protesters. And the end game is this. First and foremost, we want our voices to be heard. Whether tutamalizia town, whether tutamalizia State House, whether tutamalizia wapi, but at least our voices must be heard. And there's a time to be heard, and that time is now. And the time is tomorrow. Wednesday the 25th. Yes.
Aya, amesema yake ikamtoka. Wacha nikuje kwako Bazu. CS Murkomen amesema gava iko ready kupatana zile family za victims. Utasemaje kuhusiana na hiyo kitu bana? Ni story ajaba ama gava imeingizia njeve that kesho wasome mpanga demos?
Kwanza kabisa, hii ni serikali ya kutenga. Babo Juang saizi hata as you are talking ameenda kotini. Ile pesa alidanganywa wamemtengea hajaona. Sasa wanataka kwanza kutengea tena hao wenye walikufa. And me I'm telling those the families, hawezi exchange life ya mtoi wako na nyumba. Sasa nyumba inakusaidia nini? Hata ulikuwa unaishi, mtoi wako alikuwa fiti, hata kama kukuwa amekujengea nyumba, lakini saizi amekufa, sasa wanakupatia nyumba. What's that? Sasa na mimi kitu naambia wa Kenya is that the clarion call yenye inatuita kwa street ni kupata change kwa hii country. Na hiyo change hatuwezi pata kama wana isolate wale wenye waliuliwa atiende wapatiwe peanuts, wapatiwe milioni 2 ati nayo waachane na hiyo story, wakuje waombe kama venye babake Ojwang alikuja kwa public akasema I thank the president. Actually I felt so betrayed because ile tiagas tulikula huko Central and all sikuwa nasikia fiti. So kitu yenye nasema majamaa hata wakifanyaje, wakilipao victims ama wakikuwa funded ama wakikuwa fanywa nini, sisi as Kenyans wenye tuna suffer from hii mambo na tribalism, unemployment, everything, hatuwezi step aside ati tuseme now the victim have been wameonekaniwa na rais wakakuwa funded ati sana we are going to get out of the streets. No. Na tulisema the end game ni kuona wale conmen wa second liberation wote tumewapeleka nyumbani, because there is nothing they are telling us. Na saizi wameiba pesa nyingi ya hii country, wamejiekea, na ndio wanataka kuanza kutusource nayo, kutudanganya nao they have reformed. No. Kesho tupatane pale lunch, tutakula State House. Lunch ni State House. Na last time tulikuwa parliament, hao wenye waliingia huko walisema chakula kuwa na chumvi. So tunaambia wale wapishi wa State House, kesho mtuwekee chumvi tafadhali, lunch tunakula huko.
Wanapenda pilipili kama mimi. Bazu, yes, tumekuwa tukililia sana compensation ya victims wa maandamano. Na CS Murkomen come out kusema that gava iko ready kumit na families za victims 1 year later. Utasemaje? Gava iko ready ku listen ama ni story ya jaba ya kuwote down hizo demo za kesho maiji?
Kuna kitu inasemekananga, justice delayed is justice denied. It's 1 year later. Seriously, CS Murkomen, you cannot be coming out in the public and telling us right now that you're going to meet the families of those who were bereaved last time because you want to counter the demos za kesho. CS Murkomen, please shape up and we called you out last time. Na sisi kama Gen Zs tulisema CS Murkomen tulikuwa tunakuja kwa streets ndio to demand accountability, ndio to demand a better Kenya. But wewe ukakuja unatuonesha saa expensive. Last time we remember that isa yako ulituonesha it's around 1 million shillings, ukatuonesha venye unaendanga kwa joints za pesa mingi. But right now you're coming to tell us you're going to compensate the victims, you're going to go to those families. Hizo ni stories za jaba, and we are saying that all those victims, you don't have to come in the media and tell us that you're going to do it. Don't just say it, do it if you're going to do it. But that is not a countermeasure for the demonstrations that are planned for tomorrow. Yes.
Umesema apige picha akiwa na wao ndo atuambie baadaye nimeshawamit, si nitawamit. Wasiendelee kutenga. Wacha nikuje kwako kiongozi. Yes, kesho mnatokea, na pia niuliza swali nilikuwa nimeuliza wengine hapa hivi. End goal ni gani after kesho? Plan ni gani?
Asante sana K24. Kwa majina naitwa Dr. Ben Gigi na nashukuru sana. End goal kwa sasa kama Gen Z tunasema kesho kwanza ni mambo ya kuingia kwa street, ku demand for our rights as young people, na pia justice kwa wale ambao familia za wale ambao walifariki mwaka uliopita. Na sasa kutokana na hapo, sisi kama new generation aspirants, mimi na wania kiti cha ugavana hapa Nairobi, tunasema ya kwamba wale young people waweze kuungana pamoja, tukue united, ili tuweze kuform ile serikali ya 2027, tupate president, tupate hawa governors. Governor kama yule ambaye amelipa wale goons. It is very expensive for the government kulipa goons. Ukiangalia Haiti, waliweza kutumia wale goons na wakaenda wakawageuka, wametimua hata president wao, prime minister wao Ariel. Alafu sasa wale criminal gangs akina Hamburger ndio wamechukua uongozi. Ukiangalia Congo, ukiangalia Somalia, ukiangalia hizo nchi zote ambazo kuna such criminal gangs, wameweza kutake over power na wengine wana control some sections of the country. So serikali ikiangalia kulipa wale criminal gangs, iangalie pia the flip side of it, wanaweza pia kutolewa kutoka kwa uongozini na wale criminal gangs ili waweze kuchukua usukani katika nchi hii yetu ya Kenya.
Hiyo story ya nini tumebonga sana, hiyo story ya goons kutumwa. Nataka tumalizane nayo leo tu sasa juu hata wenye wanakuwa accused wa kutuma goons wanasema si wao. Wacha nianze na wakili hapa hivi. Ukiona goons wanakuwa escorted na polisi kwa peaceful demonstrations, inamaanisha nini? Na pia kesho, do you fear that kunaweza kuwa na goons?
Of course, this has been there. That has been a trend that they have been using for a very long time. They want to counter, these people want to counter a demonstration, and they are doing it the wrong way. They think that by bringing goons, which is 1 to 100th of the population that is coming out there to demonstrate, will stop people from demonstrating. Because I know the mentality of goons. I understand the mentality of goons because we've seen them in so many places. In the moment they are overwhelmed, they will throw all those whatever it is they have been given, their dress code and whatever it is they have, and they'll join the people, and they will be involved in attacking the police. And with them now, they are the ones now who will now bring a bad name to the people, because they would be saying that now the people who have attacked the police are peaceful Gen Zs who are protesting for their rights. But it's just the goons. So these goons they are using are the ones who are sabotaging the process, because these things are always peaceful. Hadi polisi kuja ingie hapo ianze kutupa tear gas na goons kutumia rungus. That is when they get out of hand. So we ask them, wasikuje goons, wasikuje, kaeni nyumbani, mshapewa pesa, kuleni mkae nyumbani. Don't come, don't show up.
Nambo anafaa kurudisha, lakini si nimekafunga kutoka ground. Aya, nambo anafaa kurudisha, niwapeleke break kwanza, but kutoka ground unasemaje director? Aya, kutoka ground na apeleka break, but show inaendelea.
Kaya TV. Vultures are gathering, Ladama. With every beat that falls, power shifts.
I want them to feel the emptiness I feel.
All of her property and assets shall be left to Amichir Achesa.
A legacy unravels.
Mimi ndio sheria, mfalme wale Murati.
Who will be left standing when the last beat falls? Shanga Season 2, Monday to Friday at 8 p.m. on Maisha Magic Plus. Stay connected to DSTV Channel 163 and GoTV Channel 3.
Mtumaini Bwana kwa moyo wako wote, wala usitegemee ufahamu wako mwenyewe. Katika njia zako zote mtambue, naye atazielekeza njia zako. Mithali sura ya 3 mstari wa 5 hadi wa 6.
Ili kuset Mtumaini Bwana kama skiza tune yako, dial *811 *618#.
This is the comfort of a mom's hug. Nahi ni Morph expands comfort that feels just like a mom's hug. Babies play around and then, oops, Morphix ina absorb like whoop. Imagine, haiwezi leak in 50 different movements. Makofi to both babies and Morphix. Renewed Morphix, ultimate quality.
Urimi niguo munyiginyigi wa gukura gwa bũrũri wa Kenya, ũkinyita itemi rĩnene harĩ ũtonga waguo. Na korwo ũrĩmi wakinyanĩrio na kĩo hatarĩ kũrora riũa, haha nĩho ciringi ĩkomete.
Mũrori wa Kameme TV, ĩno nĩ tabarĩra ya Kayũ ka mũrĩmi harĩa tũgũthomithagia maingĩ megiĩ ũrĩmi na ũrĩithi na maũndũ matiganĩte. Ti mũgũnda waku na mahiũ maku nĩ magũkũhe gĩa kũrĩa na gĩa kũnyua na matigie kĩndũ mũhuko.
Kayũ ka mũrĩmi nĩ tabarĩra ĩrĩ kũgunaga we mwĩroreri harĩ gũkũrehera njĩra itiganĩte cia ũrĩmi wa kĩmerera na ũrĩmi wa kĩrĩu, harĩ ũrĩa ũngĩthondeka ũtonga kuma tĩri-inĩ o gĩcunjĩ gĩothe kĩa mũgũnda kĩrĩa ũngĩkorwo nakĩo.
Na twakinya gũkũ kabuti-inĩ check, kobo-kobo-nĩ check, hatirĩ ũtanganja kana gĩtũmi kĩngĩgiria gũtarĩrie maingĩ megiĩ ũrĩmi wa mũthenya wa ũmũthĩ. Twarana nani.
Nyitanagĩra na Bataru wa Mwagĩro mũthenya wa gatatũ thaa 1:30 nginyagia thaa 2 cia hwaĩ-inĩ, akĩrika gũgũtarĩria maingĩ megiĩ ũrĩmi na umithio wa ciringi yaguo. Na haha to kũrĩma tu, nĩ kũrĩma gũkumia. Nĩ gũkũ gwa Kameme TV, mũthĩgi wa rũrĩrĩ.
Hwaĩ-inĩ waku ũkirie kwagĩrĩra ona makĩria, werorere tabarĩra ya Hũmũka o mũthenya wa mwambĩrĩrio nginya wa gatano, thaa 11 nginya thaa 1 cia hwaĩ-inĩ, tũkĩaranĩria na ataaramu, ndeto canarũkũ na ndereti mwaki ciĩgiĩ kũgacĩrithia mũtũrĩre waku.
When you lose hope, uteaga kĩrigĩrĩro. No njohi na nyama na imwe nĩ tũramwĩra rĩngĩ nyama ndune nyingĩ ti njega.
Nĩ ũrĩ wona mwanake wa kanitha ũrenda kũhikia mũirĩtu? Have you ever seen that? Erutanagĩria mũno kũ make sure mũirĩtu ũcio every time hell wĩha. Nĩ wagũire na nĩguo warĩ.
Welcome back. This is the Gen Z Manifesto, where our core business ni kuongea itutoke. And tonight we've had a special edition where we are commemorating the eve of June 25th. Na swali ya leo ni nini na kupeleka street this time? Na kama utokei this time pia, kwa nini hutokei? And we've had youth speaking from Mombasa, Eldoret and Nairobi. Wale wa Eldoret walisema wao hawaoni haja ya kwenda maandamano. Wanasema they prefer dialogue. Kama ni kuenda ni mwende makanisani mkaombe. Moja aliita maandamano mapepo. I don't know if you guys agree at home. And yeah, they said hakuna haja ya kurisk their lives. Wale wa Mombasa wakasema they have nothing to lose. That's why they are going to the streets to fight and ask for their rights. Hapa pia Nairobi, majibu kwa ground tumesikia, they're saying maandamano lazima wa attend. And now in studio, we have our distinguished guests. Wengine wako na regalias, as I said, and one of them is right here next to me. Wewe hata ni resident at this point. Sophie Nje here. Nini na kupeleka street this time? Kama unaenda, that is.
Kitu inanipeleka street ni we are in a circus. Do Kenyans know that we are in a circus? A puppetry. Who is the puppet master? That's not rocket science. William Samoei Ruto. But the big question should be, who owns this circus? Who is the person behind the real circus? Who is playing Russian roulette with the future of our generation, as is the words of a nice poet I listened to yesterday by the name of Seise. I hope I've said her name correctly. But swali yangu ni kwa nini William Samoei Ruto ameichukulia jukumu lake kufanya wazazi wetu waishi na hofu Linda. Leo asubuhi mama yangu amenishika mkono akaniombea. Akaniambia najua kesho it's a big day. Lakini mtoto wangu naomba urudi nyumbani. And she actually prayed for me. And you could feel the anxiety in her voice. She's uncomfortable, but there's nothing she can do about it because my spirit is relentless. And then when you come to our justice system, you hear a whole judge telling someone, aogope polisi. Like Kenyans, why are we so cheap? Our silence, it's expensive. The government has mastered the art of gaslighting us, Linda. They're asking us, Comrade amesema Congo, amesema Sudan. So they're asking us, do you want us to be like Congo? Do you want us to be like Sudan? Parents, take care of your children. That is gaslighting. So me, what I'm telling Kenyans is, tomorrow we come out. We should not be afraid to die, to remove a system that is willing to kill us.
Thank you so much, Sophia. And before I go to another person, you've spoken about prayers, yeah? Your mom praying for you to come back home safely. We've seen the Catholic Church also speak on this matter as well. Pastors pia wame call out mapolisi. Do you think now the church is doing its sort of job to speak about these matters? Because there's a time they were a bit quiet. What is your take on what the cleric is now doing or saying?
Do you see, Linda, when you
Kahiro.
die?
I don't know what Linda mara
Sorry, Linda. Nimekumi. Unajua sijazoea kwa hii side karibu na wewe.
It is well.
Nimezoea kwa ile side. Anyway, I'm sorry, Ms. Kahiro. Unajua, God forbid, if someone dies, who takes the biggest burden of taking care of that entire process? It's the church. So the church has realized kids are dying. The youth are dying, and they're being left with the burden of taking care of the grieving families. So right now, they've risen to the occasion. Okay, there's a standard that has been set by the likes of Kinanjoya, and we are waiting for them to reach to that point. But at this point, even going to All Saints on Sunday, that was such a big deal.
Thank you. Linda, on your side.
Well, even as you're asking this pertinent question of Nini inakupeleka street kesho, El Chapo, let me come to you. That's your resident name, and apparently you have the same regalia as well. In readiness for tomorrow, perhaps.
Yeah. Do you know tunaweza kuandamia huko kwetu? How do you even call me that? Don't you remember my name is Margaret?
Margaret El Chapo.
Tunaweza kuendelea huko kweli.
Now tell me, since you're commemorating June 25th, what were the concerns that you think should have been resolved to date and they have not been resolved yet?
There are quite many, but I'm just going to spot on a few of them. Normally, when you're in a family setup, your mom, your dad listens to you as a kid. And if they don't listen to you, you start making noise. Unlike our days or them days when they used to be butchered or butchered, nowadays we listened to. And this government literally haven't listened to us. We've had problems on political doublespeak.
Yes.
People speaking, you can remember the DCI telling the parliament that Albert alikuwa station 1:35 a.m. On the other hand, Pagathi says that Albert alikuwa huko 1:35 a.m. So what does that really show us? That we have political, I don't want to call them this, but you just have to allow me, blockheads. That is what they are. We have suppression of assent, intimidating us now and then. These are the same people who told us that you've not mobilized, hata hamjui kama mna organize. These are the same people who are telling us that you're not bold enough. These are the same people who are calling us kids. I mean, can they see that we've mobilized? Can they see how we are organized? And this is all about, this is what you're going to be using now. Yeah, mtu mwingine hapa amesema that kesho tunakula stay tu. I want to tell every Kenyan that tuko na CS wa health, tuko na CS wa education, because after the reshuffle, all those CSs hakuna kitu wanafanya. They are coming here with lies and broken promises. I mean, we have nothing left for them. Na kesho tunawafagia wote. So place wanalala, I just hope wanaweza enda tu na ile ofisi yao wameweka books and those things that they write kwa promises watembee tu nazo.
Well,
because tomorrow they're going home.
Thank you, Maggie. Perhaps let me come to you. Tell me, what are the concerns and what would take you to the street?
As an artist, nimechoka kuandika. Nimechoka kuandika cause I'm stuck in a world and you see what is right or wrong. So mimi nimechoka being in a world where leaders wametu promise wata meet vision 2030 but still wanatu lead blindly. So mimi nimechoka. Thanks to BBC News and K24 juu tumechoka kuona vijana usiku na mchana kwa mchanga wakitafuta kitu ni walishe nyinyi ma tax collectors, then all of a sudden kwa ground mnamrudisha akiwa mchanga. Sisi tumechoka. So dear government, let the death of youth and leaders and legends wamekufa time ya maandamano marks the end of police brutality and the beginning of police integrity. And I think it's a high time you learn from your own mistake. Hamhitaji kuona polisi mwingine akijilipua mkono ndo mjue that things are out of hand. Nimechoka.
Thank you. Amesema imemchoka. I didn't that. You pulled one on me. You pulled a fast on me because he's an artist. I mean, you use the art. Perhaps I can take one more.
Okay.
What are your concerns and what would take you to the street as we commemorate June 25?
First and foremost, what took us to the street were the first one, accountability. Joblessness, the opulence, the arrogance, and so many things. Sometimes we're also tired seeing our parents struggle. So as in they look so frustrated, they have educated us, they have struggled, but then what we bring home is nothing. So much frustrated. But now, when we try to air our views out, we are given names. Anarchists, so many things that we are branded a lot. But you're even wondering, even in the Bible we're told that there's no way you can ask your dad a bread and gives you a stone. Fish gives you a snake. Here we get snakes from our government. Here we get stones from our government. They don't care. We thought that the period that we gave them is something that it could be a game changer. But up to now, the parents are left without children. They have snatched the children that we were just talking up, like, you know, like so much frustrations. But now, when you go to the street with your water and your phone and just the flag, they come and kill you, they shoot you, they don't care. After killing you, no justice that is done. They continue their life as usual. They are very happy. They tell you that even the finance bill that you people went to the street, we passed it overnight. What does that show? It is so much frustrating. Like Kenya, you can wake up in the morning and you're just annoyed. You don't know where you're going to.
Umejam.
As in umejam tu, like mtu akikuuliza tu jina is like it's so annoying. Ukiona tu jirani yako, it's annoying. It's because the government has not seen what they're supposed to be doing to us. So as in we are on our own. So that is why we are still going to the street and we're not relenting.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. Ms. K.
Linda, and I like that he's mentioned the finance bill. It's one of the major things that took Gen Zs to the streets last year, June 25th. And I want to ask you, sir, the bill now has been passed, yeah? Do you think this time it was passed as a sign of approval or a sign of surrender by the people of Kenya?
This is an amazing moment to be here on this bench to advise the nation, the president, my friends, on how we're going to act tomorrow. It is not lost on everyone or anyone. Kwa nini tulienda protest last year? Tulienda ku-protest because of very specific issues zenye wase wame-mention, including police brutality, including wastage in government, including finance bill. Now the finance bill this year haijakuwa na any serious violations or other excesses za ku-overtax wase. Hiyo gava iligwaya na ilitusikia. Last time I was here and I said categorically, seated right here, that the amendment ya could change that the Tax Procedures Act section 59 lazima itolewe na ilitolewa. So that was the only contentious issues with the finance bill this year. However, lazima to address issues zenye zime come along with that Gen Z protest ya 2024, abductions, you know, disappearances za wase na killings za watu within our region. So today niko na a three-legged submission. The first one, it is there on my socials and I have advised the president. Among the many things I said, the key takeaway is very simple. When a state abdicates its power over the monopoly of violence and donates it to goons in the sake of crowd control and protest control, that government is creating its own Frankenstein, and the same people that they're empowering, wakiwa allow ku-organize na kujipanga, they're going to take over the state. We don't have to discuss much about that. Secondly, I think we need now a public amendment or rather a bill ku-control vile tunafanya protest. Because the issues mazee zenye nasikia zinanikasirisha na zinanijaza gas vibaya sana. Nimesikia IG wa police akibonga. IG wa police amebonga na amedai aje. Amedai ati kesho tukienda hiyo protest tunafaa kumnotify to respect the laws of the country, blah blah blah, including akatuambia aje ati tusiprovoke police. Sasa pia sisi tuko na our own state pressure yetu nasema hivi, police kesho msituprovoke walai. Hiyo kitu imefanya nifikirie tunafaa tukuwe na an act of parliament yenye na guide how protest should be handled. How do you initiate a protest? Who are the participants in a protest? Because nimekuja ku realize that Article 37 itself is not enough to guide how people should be protesting. IG wa police amesema tusiprovoke police. So wakati ujamali on Friday last week, mwenye alipigwa risasi Friday last week, aliprovoke aje polisi na alikuwa amesimama ameshika mask. So inamaanisha kusimama kesho na kushika mask tu kwa street, hiyo ni kuprovoke police. Is that what that means? Second thing, kuna question yenye imekuwa ikini stress na nataka ni pass as a you know second thought to everyone in the country. Who planted this idea in our mind that protest should be peaceful? Who planted the idea that protest should be unharmed?
It should be peaceful though.
Now, in British acts, kuna act ya parliament inaitwa the Bill of Rights of 1689. The Bill of Rights in 1689, nataka niwasomee tu ndio mjue tuko controlled in a way. Inasema hivi, the English Bill of Rights of 1689, following the Glorious Revolution, affirmed that protesters, subjects could have arms for their defense, suitable to their condition and as allowed for by the law. So it seems that there are three main participants in a protest. There is police, there is goons, and there are peaceful protesters. We as protesters are the only people who are going to the protest peacefully without arms. We might even start thinking about other opportunities.
Right. Thank you, sir. Linda, before we continue with our side, let's give Kagina and his panel a bit of time to speak to us on the subject matter today.
Well, indeed, on this end of the panel, I'm joined by Kinothia Ndongo, who is a lawyer as well as a social justice activist or advocate. I got it right. Huyu ni wakili. We met in the streets during the protests last year. And we also have Stula, CR7, right here, one also who was on the front line in the protest last year. And so I'll start with Kinothia. Kesho unatokea?
Kama dawa.
What is taking you back to the streets 1 year later?
You know, first we have to, remember that, 1 year ago, young, unemployed and delusioned, youths, patriotic youths, went to the street to protest against, very punitive taxation. And again, the state responded by not just killing them, but by, the president even criminalizing these young people, so that we saw a crackdown on these young people. Our friends, have been disappeared, our friends have been tortured, and, some of them now, dead. And therefore, the work that started on the 25th, not even 25th, because most people want to reduce the protest that we had to the 25th, when people actually stormed parliament, when it was, a culmination of a series of protests and also a culmination of the anger from bad governance and lack of adherence to the constitution, the abuse of the constitution. Because, what we did as a country, we took a baby, who is the constitution, and then we gave it to pedophiles to take care of this very beautiful baby. And now we are surprised by how, this person we gave this beautiful baby is behaving, mutilating this baby. So the struggle, for implementation of the constitution, is a struggle of this generation, our generational mission. And tomorrow, that struggle to complete the work that we started last year continues. And therefore, that's why we'll still be in the streets tomorrow.
Stula we naona uko na hadi bendera. Nini nakupeleka wewe sikulizika unaenda? What's taking you to the streets?
Mimi ndio kwa streets. I'll be on the streets as long as there's no change.
Why? What is taking you there?
I'm going to the streets because we need justice, and justice has not been served. Number two, we are going to the streets because they didn't create employment for us. So our full-time job is to come to the CBD because it looks so nice. We'll come and run here with them. We have the luxury to do that. And number three, I'll come to the streets because that's the only language that they understand and they listen to.
Online naona watu wakisema State House. Wewe unaenda State House?
Lazima kesho hata mimi lazima nipime hiyo kaunda suit nisikie vile president anasikianga. Lazima nikunywe hiyo maji ya kunywanga, juu najua kunywangi pombe, lakini zile vitu wanafanya ni kama nalewa hata zaidi ya mlevi.
But wait, that is a protected area in itself.
Yeah, we understand it's a protected area, but we also we have the supreme power. All power belongs to us, and that's the state's house. We are the state. Same like the church. The church is not the building, it's the people. So we are going to our house then to see the renovation that's taking place. Yeah.
And, I don't know why, some of us are surprised when we hear Kenyans talking about going to occupy State House. Unless, some of you are not good students of history. Even the settlers in the country, at some point when they were disillusioned, they marched to State House. we have not read in the history books about, the brutal murder of these settlers who had gone to State House so that they can be heard. So even when young people talk about, marching all the way to State House, they talked about marching to Parliament, and they actually did. I saw some people calling these young people, suicidal. But these are people who are already dying at home. So I think even tomorrow, young people, wakiweza watamarch mpaka, State House, it is their house. Article 1 of the Constitution inasema power yote iko kwao. And if the people who are in that house are not listening, after taking 600 more millions, to go and renovate that house, tutaenda tukae na yeye huko.
Kinodhia, lakini unajua, for a protected area, since State House is gazetted as one, those guarding there have been mandated to use force, even deemed lethal, to protect the space. Isn't that putting yourselves on the line?
And what are they protecting, the State House, what are they protecting them against? Because these are unarmed people. And, we even saw the regime killing these unarmed people. We had to go to State House when they were killing us in the street. But you see, we were still unarmed. But again, they used a lot of, violence against these people. The only justification they will have is if, our people are armed. Our people only carry phones, water, and, the basics that, they need kuenda maandamano. So I see no reason for the state to use any unreasonable force on an armed protester who are fighting for the, future of the country and hiding those who are destroying our future behind them.
All right. And now, when we talk about protests and, 25th June commemoration of those who lost their lives or injured, immediately after that, it's followed quickly by concerns of safety, either the safety of protesters, the safety of businesses, the safety of police officers, even the IG and the president reassuring them that he will be protecting them. Do you feel safe even as you head there?
We've never felt, safe under, the protection of our police. And this is not just something that is happening today. We know the things that the police, the police has done historically, especially on, the poor people. We have seen that same regime weaponizing poverty. Because when you go and pay young people from the ghettos who are not employed to come and brutalize others who are fighting for a better future, that is the state, weaponizing even unemployment, right? And therefore, when we talk about the question of, protection, there is what the Constitution says. And that's why we, we fight daily, because there is what the Constitution guarantees us, and there is, what we experience in, in reality. So actually, when the police talk about, utumishi, we must advance it. Kuuliza utumishi kwa nani? Because they only ni utumishi kwa mali na wenye mali. So for some of us who have no hope hata ya kupata mali kwa hii nchi, then we are not asking, we are expecting them to, work according to the Constitution, but also we have seen them attacking unarmed protesters. We have seen them, even abducting old people from the hospital. So if you ask us to expect protection from such people, hata sisi tutakuwa wajinga sana. So we know also what we risk by going to the streets.
All right, we'll be coming back to that conversation, including how the goons being paid are also Gen Zs. Tula atatuambia why are they headed to the street. We are headed for this short commercial break. Don't touch that dial.
Goes absolutely emphatic. He has done it.
Get ready for more on Supersport, the only place to watch all the FIFA Club World Cup.
Matuko mani na guonegokia na nikyo Farmhold Ventures Limited kambuni ire kurekaine hari wendia na wigithia wa ng'ondu itigagirira ni amurehera project cingurani na mwihoko mweru ni gukorwo kwihokwo ni ndwano itahitagia kiongoyo.
Barabara-inĩ nene ya Thika Garissa Road o ndagĩka 10 tu kuma taũni nene ya Matu tukamũrehera Ikatini Gardens na thogora wa 230,000 na kuo mwena wa Gĩthioko o ndagĩka 5 tu kuma Rami-inĩ tukamũrehera Evergreen Gardens Phase 2 brodi cia 50 by 100 na thogora wa 130,000.
Na warĩkia kwĩgwatĩra title deed ĩguoko.
No tucerere wabici-inĩ itũ Riruton Doctors Plaza 2nd floor kana wabici itũ ya Thika Maisha Heights 3rd floor. Namba itũ ya thimũ nĩyo 0704 000 333.
Makofi ya the world champion baby. Na hii ni makofi ya Morphix, which absorbs the liquid 3 times faster na haiwezi leak even in 50 different movements. Renewed Morphix, ultimate quality.
Gatano tariki 27 mweri uturi kambuni ya Pwani Oil ni igacera matura ma Kanjai na Kigio mwena wa Githunguri kunyitanira na arimi aria maigaga ng'ombe cia iria ni magoka gukuonia njira njega ya gukama ugitumira maguta ma Sour Milking Jelly maria makoragwo mari soft na magatigirira ati ng'ombe yaku ni irakamika wega na njira njega o ati ndingihitha iria. We murimi wa iria ni ukeyumiria wone uria maguta ma Sour Milking Jelly mokite gukuguna urimi-ini waku. Ni gatano ka tariki 27 mweri uturi Pwani Oils magitwikania Kanjai na Kigio ni ukeyumiria.
Welcome back. This is Gen Z Manifesto special edition where we are focusing on the happenings of June 24th and 25th this year and last year. And right before we headed for that short commercial break, tulikuwa tumesema kwa hii maandamano yenye tumekuwa tukishuhudia kwa hii nchi kumekuwa na goons. Na hawa goons siwaoni na mvi, ni Gen Z. Stula. Au watu kweni hawaamini the same things we are fighting for.
First of all, you know, these are young people. They are struggling financially, and this political class know that. So they are manipulating them because of the situation they are in. Most of them are young people, and they have young families and all. So if they hear this, some small token of money that's being given so that they can come and distract the peaceful demonstrations, I think most of the blame should be going to the people who finance them. We should go for the head of their masters, the likes of Sakaja, who we've seen, and there's a lot of proof that he's been funding these people to come and distract these peaceful demonstrations. Number two, they are goons, but they are young men, and I think some of them have learned, and they've even asked for apologies, but we can't entertain them. We can't tolerate them. If they come, they have to come and join us, but not to come and distract us. Yeah, because when push comes to shove, we'll have to defend ourselves, you know. Yeah, because in the struggle, they're also young people, and they just don't understand that this is about them as well. So, yeah.
All right. And even as you push for your cause tomorrow, we have the police who have issued directions. We have the Ministry of Interior, which has given a list of do's and don'ts. We've also had former Prime Minister Raila Odinga reiterate what the two agencies have said, saying that it will be important for police to cooperate, for the demonstrators to cooperate with protesters, and even give them the routes that they intend to use, maybe under the organization you're in, or rather as an individual participating in tomorrow's protest. Have you done that so far?
Yeah, as the RGM, the Revolutionary Gen Z Movement, you can even see the badge, we are aware of all those measures, but also as a citizen, when the law is is being brought to oppress me, I have the right to bend it in my favor. So we are Kenyans, and I think this is our country, and it's a free nation, and every Kenyan have the liberty to walk anywhere they want to go everywhere they want to, as long as they are not interfering with other people's businesses or they are being destructive in any way. We'll go. We'll use whichever way that's available to us, and we'll use whichever means necessary until we get there. We are tired of the bad governance that they've given us over the years. You see, they killed Rajuang, then later on they come with regret in form of compensations. We don't want that, because there's not amount of compensation that can bring back lives. You know, there are things we lose that we get back, like money we get back. But no matter how much money they give to their parents, will they get their son back?
All right. Well, indeed, you've heard what this side of the panel has to say in regards to hii conversation mzima ya Gen Z and what they have in their manifesto and what they're looking forward to hapo kesho. Miss K.
And before we go back to our lovely panelists on this other side, let's see some feedback from you guys watching us from home. Again, swali ni nini na kupeleka street this time round? Na kama hauendi this time, kwa nini? Let's hear from you guys. James Monyuoki anasema reason itanipata mbele. Atachukua virogo vyake ende streets, reason itampata mbele. Maxwell Luchisoi anasema tutajua mbele, wacha tufike kwanza. Okay, this seems to be a popular answer. Nzioka KE anasema it's a memorial day for me. All right, Nzioka. Njuguna wa Wangare anasema hata sijui but nitaenda tu. Njuguna. Rufus Real anasema kupinga vibaraka. Kupinga vibaraka ni kama sielewi. Parmarez Dennis anasema wametuzoea na ndio maana naenda kwa street kesho. Daktari wa mifugo anasema Kasongo aende home. Ukasongo kwa nani though? Sijui. Brian Cartel anasema ni ujinga kwa wale wataenda. Okay, ni ujinga kwa wale wataenda. Umeitwa mjinga by the way, juu naenda. Bash Maruoko, okay, anasema haki wengao na mlinzi wakati wote na katika kila hali na kwa watu wote. Alright, Bash. Karis Jemo Karioke anasema tutajua tukifika State House bana. Okay. Wakili Ryan anasema Kasongo bana, huyu msee ni laana walai. Again, I wonder who Kasongo is. Again, the question of today ni nini na kupeleka streets this time round? Na kama ulienda last time na huendi sahi, kwa nini? What has changed your mind? And I want to come to my brother over here. Mr. Kenodia over there said that he's going to the streets because this is the language the government seems to understand. Do you agree with that, or do you agree with the Eldoret youth who say dialogue is also a solution, that we shouldn't risk our lives? As you also answer us, are you going on the streets tomorrow?
Okay, thank you. So there are some questions that for now, mambo yamechemka, tukizijibu yatakuwa mbaya. Those youths wenye wanasema they won't be going to the streets, well and good. But for me, I will be going because I have a country to fight for. People like Rex Masai, Denzel were killed last year trying to fight for a better country. The finance bill passed, 1 year has passed, but the issues are still there. There are still no jobs. Corruption is still there. We don't have opportunities. Health sector is bleeding, education system. So I have many reasons to go to the streets. And then I heard one of us say that we have nothing to lose. No, a point of correction. We have everything to lose. If we don't go out there today, because protest is the only language these people hear, then tomorrow we won't have a nation to live on. Remember, we are a generation that we were brought to lelewa kwa serikali ya Kibaki. education yenye tulipewa free imefanya kazi. We know that the constitution give us na imetukubalia kuenda, kuassemble na kuprotest. And then in the issue of police, tunabeba ufala na tumebeba ufala for so long. The police are no longer service. They are tools being used by this regime yenye wanajua their political machine imekwama. So the only way, the only oil that they have is blood to keep this machinery moving. We all know that Kenya Kwanza government is let me call it a national scam authority. It is a regime that is headless. It was built on lies and manipulation, and that one is no longer working. We went there and voted for this government because they spoke our voice. They said things that we wanted to hear. They spoke about youth empowerment, about Mama Mboga, job, everything. They said it all. But right now, we have a clueless commander in the name of William Ruto who does not know even where the country is heading to or where it is coming from. We have degree holders, PhD holders, people like Murkomen in the government. But when they speak, we are asking ourselves, when did we come from humanity to being selfish? People are obsessed with power. They no longer care about us. The only thing they care about is themselves. And the streets we are going, we must go. Tomorrow we will go. If they have to kill us, let them do so. If they will kill generally tomorrow, I will be a martyr. But remember, one martyr made on the street will give birth to thousands of revolutions, people who will be oppressed with this government. Many people will still come. So let them not think that through bullets, through canisters, through extrajudicial killings, we will keep quiet. That is never going to happen. Not now, not ever.
Thank you so much. Mugambi, let me come to you. We've heard Mama Rex saying that anataka watu watokeze to remember Rex's life, and they ask also for some compensation. Tumesikia Mama Kennedy really crying kwa church kusema she got a call from the head of state, akamwambia atamtumia kakitu, atapanga mikakati, but that never happened. But again, we've seen Baba Ojwang receiving compensation ya 2 million. And now Murkomen is saying they are agreeing to, sit down with the families. Do you think these promises from them are genuine?
These promises are made by them ndio ku save face. It's always made to save face. I've never really seen them. I understand hata tukisema we feel betrayed by, kuna mtu nakumbuka akisema ati they feel betrayed by Baba nani Ojwang kuchukua Albert kuchukua do. Honestly, this is a man who actually toiled all his life, alafu his only hope akaenda akapewa do. It'd be stupid to say usishike pesa. I totally understand where he's coming from because hana mtu mwingine hata ana depend on, so that makes sense for him. But they're using the tuliongea na wazazi so that they can diminish whatever, trivialize everything else we're working on, because every time they speak about any killings or injuries made that are almost fatal to so many people, inakuwa like in passing. Like one or two people were hurt, it was an unfortunate situation. Mtu ameenda kavaa red bottoms mahali, ana interview BBC, anasema loss of life is quite unfortunate, and unashanga, okay, this is a leader we have elected, we have put there, and it's very sad. Tumefika point wenye hata si wenyewe tumekuwa desensitized to death that we are like, kesho nitaamka nikule breakfast, niende maandamano, either nikule State House lunch ama niende kukula milk and honey in Sayuni. We don't even think of death as such a big deal anymore, because in as much as we have everything else to lose, we have nothing more to lose. Sawa, nikatae kwenda maandamano, nikae kwa nyumba. You guys decide juu nita tweet or repost kitu, mnikujie kwangu nikiwa nimelala. Whether I'm on the streets or I'm out or I'm not, I am unsafe. Nipende nisipende watanikujia. So what more do I have to lose? Hey, maze, inafika point, we're thinking of all these things and then they'll still end up calling us digital whatevers and vitu zingine hata tuwezi sema juu obviously na wewe ni leader umesema wewe ni hiyo. They end up calling us anarchists or unpatriotic or there's a terrorist, kuna kitu treasonous criminals, and we're supposed to take it and just smile and be like, oh thanks Aki, we didn't know this is a person who's called us this before. And they're saying now that they're going to protect the police. They're going to have the police protected against treasonous criminals who come in with iPhones and KFC and tumeletwa na Uber kuprotest, alafu wao wana fund goons because that's their MO. That's how they think. Even when we were working towards this protest last year, they were asking who's funding them. Who's funding them? Because they fund people. This is how they work. They know lazima ufandiwe ndio you work. They don't think of it as we just sat together, used our brains and decided easy hii ni ufala. And now tomorrow as a memorial, just like any of their political rallies, we will still have praise and worship. Kama mnataka tutakuja tuimbe, we will march. Tunaweza jua vile rooms zingine za state house zinakaa, isikuwa tu tunasoma about them. It will be a very amazing time.
Thank you, Mugambi. And as he was speaking, our guy here was very much agreeing. Tuambie, unatokea street kesho, and why? The things that took us last year, are they the same agendas taking you back there? Ama, what's happening?
Well, thank you so much, Kahiro.
You're welcome.
For, doing whatever that you're doing. I just want to use this opportunity to congratulate you and give you your flowers. We have various stations in the country that are not doing this, but you have taken it as your responsibility as human right to amplify our voices with the people, that we've tried, to speak our mind, that we've tried to express ourselves, but we have been met with bullets. Before I answer you the question of why am I going to the streets tomorrow, I just want to brief you, about a few activities that really guarantees us to be street children and residents. Last year, June, July, specifically, you saw what happened during 25th of June, the one that we are going to, commemorate our comrade and our heroes tomorrow. You saw the heinous, senseless actions that happened during that time. The people, and specifically the Gen Z, we came out and, sorry for that, there is a communication that we made it very clear that we are leaderless, and number two, we are tribalist. Before I even go deep to that, I want to tell you, my fellow Kenyans, and even people we are here, that being leaderless at that time round, it was very necessary. Because number one, the so-called leaders, we have seen what they are capable of doing. They take opportunity of such occasions and then hijack demonstration, use them for their, personal, selfish, and political gains. So where would we, want to have leaders? So that was very clear to send a message to these opportunists, and characters who have such behaviors. Now, why am I going to the streets tomorrow? Honestly, I don't know how to answer you, because I have a lot. When I start, talking about these things, I'll use about 2 to 3 hours, because there is a lot. Tell me, what am I seeing there? Who is that? Is he alive? Is that not someone's son, child? Where is he? Did he deserve a fair hearing? Of course he did. Did he deserve to die? Did he deserve, a life sentence? He did not. So why am I going to the streets? Everything is messed. We are talking about security right now. Who is secure? Leave alone those, people who are paid by the government. Mere propagandists and bloggers who are being used
As you wind up, sorry.
by the government, who are, spreading this narrative of let us not occupy State House. Let us not occupy those, protected areas. State House is our building, my good friend. It has been built by our taxpayers' money. The people who live in the State House, the people that we get power to be in that State House, we did so by election. So it is our building. I want to urge every Kenyan that who is going, who is coming out into the streets tomorrow, do not buy in fear.
Thank you.
We are beyond buying in fear.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I want to give you this mic to Sophie to wind up in a very few words, yes? Talk to me about tomorrow, your message to the youth who are planning to go to the Mandamano.
My message to the youth today, as we count a few hours to June 25th, is to remember. History needs to be written that Gen Zs rose, some died, and their death will not go to waste. I want to tell you that we are the Mau Mau of today. Personally, I am the Muthoni Nyanjiru of today. Hii generation sio ya masofti. Tunataka ukombozi na tunataka ukombozi sahi. Thank you.
Thank you, Sophie. Linda? Such a conversation, right? Such a...
Okay, we have so many artists here, and I was just curious to know the pressure that comes with when this protests happen, and many content creators are pressured to post.
Right.
Lest they get cancelled. I wonder how this time it will be, because many people are now living in fear, but I love this crowd, the way they are so vibrant.
Yeah, maybe you could get...
can I get you
to talk about it?
Do you feel pressured that you have to post or use your social media platform to avert being cancelled as an artist?
Come again. Rudia tena.
Unaona venye watu wakipost siku ya maandamano, usipopost na wewe ni content creator, watu wanakucancel, wanasema hata hatutaki content yake. Do you feel the pressure?
No. So sahi kwa association ya artist right now tuko na umoja. And tunajua hata sisi tunaumia, si ndio? And there's one thing we know. Tutaumia. That is what we are sure about.
Yeah.
Yes. And also the other thing, no, we are not. The other thing I know, yes, thank you, wazazi wetu ndio wanaweza tusaidia. Si lazima ati wakae nyumbani. Kujeni tukae kwa streets na Biblia, kujeni tuombe pamoja, tuandamane. And I shout out kwa wase wote pale wenye wasanii wote wenye wanataka tupiganiane rights zetu. And shout out to Ann Mwagangi mwenye ametokea place. Hata mimi niko na shida ya macho, usiweke karibu na light mingi. Yes, you are ready for this.
Thank you so much. That's all from us right here. I have a message to Kagina. Kagina, you've been told that State House is a protected area, but funded and renovated by taxpayers' money. I rest my case. My name is Linda Koskei. See you again tomorrow for yet another exciting Gen Z Manifesto show.
Right, thank you, Linda. Allow me to share my time briefly with the guests that I have here, starting with Kenothia, as brief as you can.
Tomorrow's march, is one, a march against the culture of forgetting, those who have shed their blood for us. It is also a march against the culture of silence that, it's a cancer that has continued to eat this country. But importantly, tomorrow we will be mourning. And, we don't just mourn our loved ones like that. We protest as a sign, of mourning our loved ones. So I call on every young person, Kesho, Patane Street.
Yes. Tomorrow we'll be marching to State House because I'm curious. I want to take what the president takes, then he comes to the media and the public and say that he's not a madman. So tomorrow we are coming, whether you kiss me, whether you date me or you take me.
Thank you. Those right there were the sentiments from some of our panelists right here. But tomorrow, I'm calling for everyone who might decide to go in the streets or not. Whatever you do, think wisely. Ask yourself, if this is the only thing I was left to do between now and the end of my life, would I still make the same decision? If not, then choose wisely. That's it from me. I'm David Kagina.
Thank you, Kagina. Now, as we close the show tonight, here are my 2 cents. Majority of the leaders in this regime have proven with contempt to Kenyans and absolutely to have absolutely no shame, with absolutely no shame on their sleeves, that power does not equate to intelligence. Emotional intelligence, especially, which is essentially crucial for navigating personal and professional life. You may pick this from how they have addressed matters in the past year. They ashamedly said all Gen Zs do is eat and take videos on their expensive phones during protests, clearly belittling the agenda and calls for change. Others said the youth went to the streets like dumb kids who have absolutely no comprehension of the finance bill. Others called us terrorists and treasonous. Recently, the police unit tried to make us believe that a sane human being hit himself against a wall to his death, all to cover up for a big man who could not stand criticism and decided to go rogue. Other leaders have trashed the commemoration of the fallen heroes and guided in their, well, questionable wisdom that June 25th should be a normal day, that there is no burial site at Parliament. Meanwhile, young people literally, actually died on those same grounds. It's the ignorance for me, it's the arrogance, really, it's the shamelessness for me. The young people are pressed for various reasons that surround bad leadership, but mostly for being taken for a ride and underestimated by their leaders. Hired goons or no hired goons, planned propaganda or not, the whispers, the screams, the echoes of the sober-minded Gen Z voices will be heard, must be heard. I rest my case. My name is Miss Kahiro, and this has been the Gen Z Manifesto. See you tomorrow from 5 p.m. to 11 p.m. to continue with the June 25th commemoration. Stay safe, comrades. Good night.
Commemorating TV, Muthegi wa Ruriri.
Na kisha moja kwa moja mtazamaji, basi nakupeleka